You ready for this? Probably should have given you a bath, huh? Okay. Hi friends, this is Carmen. Welcome back to my channel. I've got Rosie girl here with me today because... You gonna tell him or shall I? I'll tell him. Because today we're gonna talk about plants that are toxic and non-toxic for your four-legged friends, dogs or cats. And I think you could probably include your little two-legged friends in there, your children, in this. So I think these are toxic and non-toxic for them too. So we're going to go over 10 non-toxic and 10 toxic plants. And I think you'll be surprised at some of them and which category they fall in. I think Rosie wants to get down, so let's get to it. Okay, so I think we're going to start off with the toxic plants first. And I've got 10 on that category, but there are more than that. I just picked 10 that kind of jumped out to me and that I realized I had. All of the information I'm about to give you I got off of the ASPCA website, and I'll leave the link down below and across here, where you can go, and they cover not only indoor plants but outdoor plants. So if you have dogs and cats that go outside and you've got, let's say, a rhododendron or azalea or a hydrangea out there, you know, you may want to keep an eye on them, make sure that they don't get into those, okay? So for the toxic plants, the golden pothos is on the list, and I know this is a plant that just about all of us have. And some of us have numerous of them, but that also covers the marble queen, the neon pothos, mandula. It's basically the pothos family, and those can be toxic to dogs and cats and cause irritation, vomiting, diarrhea, things like that. Next on the list, you wouldn't think this would be on there, aloe vera. Now the aloe vera gel, the juice, the gel inside, is the medicinal part of the plant. The skin and outer portion of the leaves of the aloe vera plant are what is toxic and irritating to dogs and cats. So that's good to know. It's not the entire plant, it's just the gel that is non-toxic. The rest of the plant is toxic. And peace lily. You know, peace lily is probably a statement plant that most of us have, and it can be toxic to cats and dogs, so it's not pet friendly, even though it is a beautiful plant to have in the house. And I knew this, but aglaonemas, the genus Aglaonema, is toxic to pets and cats because they have what's called, let me read it so I say it correctly, calcium oxalate crystals that can cause a real bad irritation in the mouth and digestive system of your little pet, and really just make it a hard time for them. Now I am lucky that my little Rosie girl has never, in the 10 years I've had her, does not bother my plants or eat plants. What she does do is kind of scrape in the dirt and maybe pull out rocks, and I know where she's been because I see dirt outside of the pot, which is kind of strange, but she doesn't eat the plants at all. She did one time take out a lithops, and lithops are not toxic. They are non-toxic. But she did pull it out, and I think she thought it was some kind of a stone or something. She didn't eat it, she just pulled it out of its little pot. But anyway, I'm lucky in that sense that she does not, you know, bite plants or chew on them or anything like that. Sam, I think he did it once and he didn't do it again. Sansevieria, I know. I have so many Sansevierias. Now, they're kind of a tough leaf plant, so dogs and cats may not bother with them because they're a little bit tough, and the edges can be hard, but it's good to know that Sansevieria is a toxic plant to your pets. Philodendrons, yeah, philodendrons, the trailing ones that can be, those trails that can be so enticing to cats, you know, to play with them and stuff, and maybe chew on them. Gotta watch that because philodendrons are toxic and can cause vomiting, diarrhea, things like that. The plants that I'm listing here, I didn't see any that would cause death to the pet. But I think it all depends too on the size of your pet, how much the pet ingests, if it's a whole leaf, if it's just a little bite. But it's good to know these plants are toxic. Monsteras, so you know your Monstera Tonsonii, the Monstera deliciosa, ain't so deliciosa for your pet, okay? So make sure that they stay away from that. Syngoniums. Syngoniums are toxic. They can be very irritating to their mouth, causing drooling, vomiting, things like that. Okay. Another one that we all have, a ZZ plant. You believe that? Yeah, a ZZ plant. The entire plant, not only the leaves, but the branch and the tubes, the rhizomes rather, underneath can be toxic to your pet. So you got to make sure that they're not getting into that. And alocasias. I only have one, and you know, they haven't. Rosie hasn't gotten into it or anything like that, and it's high up. And that's the other thing I want to get into before we get into the non-toxic ones. If you know these plants are toxic, put them up higher where your dogs, cats, kids cannot get to them, and maybe hang them, put them on a wall, things like that, where the pet cannot get to them. That way you can still enjoy the plant and love the plant without worrying that your pet's going to get to it. The other thing would be to train your pet somehow, some way to not touch the plants, not to get into the plants. And that's maybe something you can consult with a dog trainer on if you have a real problem with your dog getting into your plant. Okay, so let's talk about the plants that you can have your pets around and not really worry about them. And you'll be happy that there's quite a few on here that are beautiful plants that most of you probably already have. And these are plants probably that you can put maybe on the floor or on a table, somewhere where your pet is going to be around and not have to worry about them getting into it. Hoyas. Hoyas in general are non-toxic to pets, and that's one that you cannot worry about if they happen to, you know, get into one of the trails or bite one of those Matilda leaves, which you probably don't want them to do. Spider plant, very popular plant, and it's one that is non-toxic to pets. Peperomias, pretty much in general. I didn't really find a peperomia variety or species that was toxic to pets. So peperomias, beautiful peperomias that you can have, obtusifolias, involucratas that you can have on a table and not worry about your pets getting into them. Okay? Ferns pretty much in general. Boston fern, staghorn fern, those are beautiful plants that you can have in your home. They require a little bit more humidity, but you won't have to worry about your pet getting into them. Marantas, those are beautiful plants, your prayer plants that, you know, the leaves can be a little bit tempting to them because they're colorful and they kind of move up in the evening and stuff, so it may be tempting for your cat or your dog, but you won't have to worry about that. And then calatheas. I'm not worried about those because I'm a calathea free zone, but calatheas, very colorful plant that can be enticing to them, and you don't have to worry about that. So there's a huge variety of calatheas that you can have in your home, you know, with humidifier, and enjoy the beauty of them. Parlor palm or Kentia palm, very easily attainable plant. That's a statement plant. You can get a big one, have on the floor, and you won't have to worry about your pet getting into them. The sago palm, kind of a side note here, the sago palm is toxic, so you want to stay away from that one unless you put it up higher somewhere. But your parlor palm, your Kentia palm are good for pets. Your money tree, you know, the braided money tree, Aquila, I'll put it here, Aquila Pachera, I forget the name of it. You know what I mean, money tree. those are very common. Great statement plants, whether it's a small one you put on your table or a larger one that you put on the floor. Beautiful plant, easy to take care of, and even more easy because you don't have to worry about your pets getting into it. Now, there are some succulents varieties that you can have. Burro's tail, donkey's tail. Now those can be enticing because, you know, they're trailing and they got those little tiny leaves and they want to paw at them, especially cats and stuff. But even if they do get to them, because, you know, they fall so easily and one falls on the floor, it's not toxic, so you don't have to worry about that. Because, you know, those Burro's tails, those leaves fall off so easily, but you don't have to worry about it. And Haworthias are a great indoor succulent to have. They do well in bright indirect light, and they're non-toxic to pets, so it makes it even better. Echeveria, a bonus one, that was 10 already, but a bonus one, Echeverias are also non-toxic and do well inside as long as they have bright light in your pet, you know. Although they may maybe chew on it and it feels mushy and everything, but it's not going to be toxic to them. So that is a great option too. Now, that's pretty much it. Those are all of them. There are more, and you may be wondering about a plant that you have that I didn't cover here. Again, I will leave the link to the ASPCA list. It's very extensive. It's in alphabetical order, hundreds of plants on there, outdoor and indoor, that you can check for toxic, non-toxic, and it covers pretty much dogs, cats. And it also, if you click on the name of the plant, it will take you to a page with a picture of the plant and tell you exactly what it causes, if it is toxic, if it causes irritation, vomiting, diarrhea, all of that. There's also a 1-800 number that I'll put across here that is the poison line for ASPCA. If your dog or cat has gotten into something, you just simply don't know what they got into as far as a plant and what it's going to do, you can call them and get some information right away as far as if you need to take them to the vet right away or just let them write it out. Okay? Now, if you have any questions or anything like that, please do leave the questions and comments down below in the comments section, friends. And we all want to take care of our little puppies and dogs and our little kids too. I'm an empty nester now, but I want to make sure that Rosie is taken care of and that she doesn't get into anything that she shouldn't be into. Okay, thanks so much, friends, for watching this video. I appreciate you so much. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it and enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.